What's up guys, welcome back to Bits of Krish. From the thumbnail, I bet you have already guessed today's topic. That's right, it's a noob's guide and I'm here to share some essential pointers for those of you diving into Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 for the very first time. Now I know there are tons of beginner's guides, tips and tricks videos and walkthroughs out there. But trust me, this video isn't like the rest. I started off as a complete noob myself without watching any guides or tutorials. As I ventured deeper into the game, I realized there were things I should have considered earlier or mistakes I could have avoided altogether. So I've compiled my unique insights on how to approach this game after countless hours of playing. My goal to keep things fresh so you walk away with something new today. So without further ado, let's dive right in. Right off the bat, let me tell you, this game can feel pretty overwhelming at first. The mechanics, the environment and the overall gameplay are unlike anything else in the RPG genre. How Henry eats, sleeps, reacts and lives through each situation is crucial and directly shapes the storyline. Your choices and playstyle will dictate your progression and how the world around you evolves. Sounds a bit confusing? Don't worry, I've got you covered. After the initial prologue, you step into the boots of Henry, our protagonist. He rides alongside Sir Hans Capon of Lipa, seeking to bring peace to the war-torn lands of Bohemia. But trouble soon brews when Sir Hans' men are confronted by the army of von Bargow, the king of Trosky. As tension rises and Henry is pulled into the fray, the game presents you with choices that will define not just your character but also how others treat you throughout the game. As a first timer, I made the rookie mistake of thinking I could say whatever, pick random dialogue options and see what happens. Little did I know, those choices had a massive impact on building my strategy, refining my character and shaping my social reputation. A real facepalm moment, right? From the very beginning, when Henry chats with his comrades at the riverside camp, the game subtly nudges you towards defining who Henry will become. The dialogue options you pick here don't just affect the conversation, they grant buffs to strength, agility, vitality or speech. My advice, don't rush it. Think long and hard about what kind of Henry you want to craft. Do you see him as a hulking warrior, smashing through enemies with brute force? Or maybe a swift and nimble rogue, darting through shadows and striking with precision? Perhaps a resilient survivor who endures every hardship, never backing down? Or even a cunning diplomat who uses wit and persuasion to get his way? It might seem like a lot to take in, but trust me, that's the beauty of the game. It offers an unparalleled level of immersion, letting you mold Henry from the ground up. As you progress, you'll notice your responses and actions shape your skill set. Stealth pairs beautifully with agility, vitality plays a crucial role in survival, and speech flourishes if you embrace the path of a scholar. These sparks are all interconnected, so play wisely. For instance, sharpening your stealth skills boost agility, while vitality perks make surviving the harsh world a little bit easier. Mastering speech can open doors to new opportunities, especially if you dive into scholarship and expand Henry's knowledge. Every choice nudges Henry towards a different destiny. Persuasion is an art form in Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 and one that can carry you far. But let me tell you, it's not just about picking the right dialogue option. No, it's a game within the game. There are multiple ways to persuade someone. You can take the peaceful route, use charm and charisma, twist words to manipulate, or even resort to intimidation and threats. You can also play the hero, offering kindness and generosity to win people over. But here's the catch. Persuasion isn't a guaranteed success. Your skills, reputation and even appearance all play a role. If you show up looking like a beggar in a tattered rags, good luck charming your way through anything. Moreover, understanding who you are dealing with is crucial. Some folks respond better to kindness while others respect strength or fear the divine. Tricksters and bandits might fall for coercion, while the pious might be swayed by invoking their faith. It's a rich, complex system that makes every encounter feel fresh and meaningful. While conversing, the game gives you buff scores for each persuasion technique, but don't be fooled. A higher score doesn't always mean success. For example, when I confronted a group of bandits, I chose to bluff my way out with a lie, and it worked. No fight needed. The takeaway? Don't just pick the highest score. Think about the situation, the people you are dealing with and what Henry would do. So there you have it. Take your time, explore every option and carefully craft your Henry. The beauty of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2 lies in its realism and depth. There are no wrong answers, only different paths. Embrace the journey and you'll come out with a story that's uniquely yours. Now let's jump into our next point, an important segment. And honestly, this is where I made some of my dumbest mistakes and got punished badly. Very early in the game, you start noticing that everything demands a hefty price. From buying materials and groceries to taking a bath or learning sword techniques. And the amount of money, aka groschen, you have is very limited. It quickly becomes a pure struggle to get things done the right way. At least that was the case for me. So I decided to resort to stealing. By this point, I have already seen some guides in bits and pieces where everyone was telling you to steal this armor, grab that weapon, pickpocket keys, open chests for huge buffs, lockpick vendors' houses and so on. It all sounded awesome, but what they don't tell you is that stealing it not easy at all. In fact, it makes your life more miserable than you might expect. If you are not experienced enough, you're gonna get caught pretty fast. And if that happens, you're branded a thief in that location for 4 whole days. A massive disadvantage in KCD2. Worse yet, if you do get caught, be ready to pay a steep price or face severe punishment. They will rip you off everything. One time, I made the silliest mistake of stealing a horse in broad daylight and trying to flee. Big mistake. The villagers noticed me immediately and stopped me right then and there. They were furious and wouldn't listen to a word of reasoning. I didn't even have enough money to pay them off, so I made another rookie mistake. I tried to take them on. Haha. Man, I should have thought that one through. The way they shanked me with their swords, I could never have imagined. Bruised and battered, I tried to escape, but the damage was done. I couldn't enter that area for the next 4 days without sneaking. The folks branded me a lowlife and a thief, refusing to speak to me politely. I was injured, needed rest, and ended up wasting 2 more days patching myself up at Bozenas until the brand was lifted. I had important missions in that area, and trust me, you don't want to tackle missions with soldiers breathing down your neck. It was a total mess. So, as a noob's guide, here's my advice. Don't pick fights with soldiers or even random people in the early game. You're just not there yet in terms of strength and skill. Your stats are low and it's better to keep a low profile while you build them up. Get good armor, weapons and train your skills. Now I'm not gonna dive into how to get good armor and weapons early in this video, but if you want a dedicated guide, drop a comment and I can show you a way to score some solid gear pretty early. As I was saying, if you are confident in your sword wielding skills, you can take people on, but I'd recommend against it. I'm still learning sword skills myself. The early techniques you get, like riposts and left-right slashes, won't work most of the time. Your stamina drains fast, and if you're new to the franchise like me, it takes time to get the hang of sword fighting. Miss a combo and enemies are smart enough to launch a few of their own. If you're not able to defend, it can become a bloody affair real quick. Nowadays, after making mistakes like this, I am super cautious. Even I am robbing a place or stealing, I always keep Savior Schnapps handy. Savior Schnapps is a decoction you can brew at any alchemy bench with some herbs and materials you collect. You'll need a recipe too. If you want to know how to brew it, you can find step-by-step guides on YouTube. Drinking it saves your game, so if anything goes wrong, you can replay it. It's a huge advantage, and being a noob, I need it a lot. So yeah, you can learn from my mistakes. Don't be reckless early on, build your skills and keep a low profile. Trust me, it makes life in KCD2 a lot easier. Now let's talk about the difficulties when the game gets a little too real. Wealth management is a prime example. It's crucial in this game. As I mentioned before, the groschens you earn are quite limited, so let's not get too careless when spending them. You can actually earn or acquire a modest amount of groschens by doing side quests and main quests in Semin, Troskowitz, the Nomad's Camp and Zeliov before the Grand Gala wedding. Or you could sneak into homes at night and borrow a few treats. Sounds tempting, right? Well, only if you don't get caught. And forget about the game of dice. Trust me, I made the mistake of diving into multiple games and losing all my money. You'll find dice games scattered everywhere in the world of Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. At first glance, they are pretty intriguing, almost irresistible. But unless you are exceptionally skilled or ridiculously lucky, don't expect to win right away. Luck plays a huge role here. As you play, you will acquire different types of dice that can shift the odds in your favor, but it takes time. My advice, better to wait and play smart rather than lose all of your hard-earned gross chen and end up regretting it. Another fantastic addition to the game is haggling, or bargaining if you prefer. Whenever you are buying or selling, never forget to haggle with the vendors. You'd be surprised how much you can save. Here's a little tip. Maintain a good reputation in the village. Don't go around looking like a beggar or a gravedigger. Dress respectably, look presentable, and you'll get better deals. It's a small thing, but trust me, it makes a big difference. And it's kind of fun too. Now let me warn you about something. I wouldn't recommend searching for Mutt right away when you're still running around with no armor or sword. Sure, the mission pops up on your map from the very beginning, but don't be hasty. First off, it requires a ton of long distance travel, which is practically impossible without a horse. Second, and here's a bit of a spoiler but nothing major, you'll hear whispers that Mutt has fallen in with a menacing pack of wolves. Yep, you guessed it. You'll have to fight off a few of those ghastly beasts to rescue him. So what do you need? At the very least, a good pair of leg guards, some decent armor, and a proper sword. You can scavenge most of these things through the main questline Blacksmith of Tarkov. Trust me, if you try to save Mutt without proper gear, you're basically volunteering to be wolf food. Consider yourself warned. I think that's it for today. I don't want to overwhelm you, but this should give you a much smoother head start into the game. At least now you won't be completely directionless unlike me when I first started. If you found this interesting, go ahead and hit that like button. And hey, if you're new here, don't forget to subscribe. Also, let me know in the comments if I should continue the series with a more in-depth guide on how to survive Kingdom Come Deliverance 2. I'd love to hear your thoughts and experiences playing KCD2 for the first time, so drop them down below. Oh, and before I go, fall damage is real, guys. I'm not kidding. Fall damage is damn real in this game. So don't go leaping off cliffs at the start and expect to walk away uncatched. Alright, that's it for me. See you in another video. Ciao ciao.